G'day everyone and welcome back to GuruVision. Thanks for joining us again. This week James gives us some really big news from the States. I have a look at a really cool app for geography. We look at our Guru of the Week as well as the top 5 ways of creating some more space on your iDevice.
Hi there and welcome to tonight's tech news. Apple and Microsoft joined the wireless carriers of America to bring iPads, computers, software and awesome broadband internet to underprivileged students in America. President Obama has negotiated a great deal as a part of his Connect Ed program to improve the access to technology in American schools. He's hoping these companies echo the response in other countries like Australia. Apple's just pledged $100 million in devices to help underprivileged students get access to tech tools and the internet. Microsoft is offering up to $1 billion in potential savings in educational software and tablets. Connect Ed is also partnering with Adobe and Prezi to improve the standard of teaching in American classrooms. It's an awesome initiative and I reckon Australia needs to take some notice. Wouldn't it be great to get some of that Prezi $100 million to provide some slideshows and software and to get some of that free creative Adobe stuff that will make available heaps of stuff for teachers all over the world? I would love that. Over $1 billion of tech for schools in 1 month, says Obama. So he's done some good stuff over there for technology. The White House has this awesome goal of connecting 88% of their population with high-speed internet over the next 5 years and is stopping at nothing to make sure this happens. He wants to improve the outcomes for American students and to be a model for other countries to follow in regards to petitioning big business to get involved with education and make a difference to society. And I think that's a good thing. Check it out.
Thanks to innovative schools and teachers and students like all of you, we know what school might look like in the century ahead. Classrooms wired to space, students who are fluent in coding and web design, teachers collaborating on projects with peers around the world. We've always imagined giving every child the chance to learn like that, and with these private sector partners, we're helping to make it a reality.
So secondly, we've got an ex-Google manager called Pramod Sharma who created a slick kit to turn his iPad into a virtual teacher. And what this has is it taps into the Disney Infinity style, have a little figure and interact with the software sort of thing. And I think that tactile stuff is great for a lot of young people. What we're looking at here is a little mirror over the top of the camera which comes down and we are able to then manipulate what's going on with the figures underneath and build an interactive lesson around it. Check it out.
Hey guys.
So next, Intel is making a laptop specifically for Australian schools called a 2-in-1 convertible. It's got 10 inches of goodness, 18 gigahertz of power, 2 gigs of RAM and 64 meg of memory. Actually gigabyte of memory. It's got a little audio jack which you put your headphones into that double as a temperature probe. Has a 5 megapixel camera and this camera has a little attachment on top that transforms it into a microscope with 2 little small LED lights on either side that can illuminate the object you want to examine. It can turn into a tablet by rotating it and clicking off as a keyboard, and it includes lots of groovy educational software that can measure frequency of moving objects, take really long photos. It's got a little carry handle and it's waterproof, and for all of those reasons it's really school friendly. It can survive a drop of up to 70 centimeters. It's pretty useful, pretty powerful, maybe not as much as a MacBook Air, maybe not as pretty, but it's still just as good. So check it out. Bill Gates is a long-time educational donor and has just partnered with a group called Common Sense Media to offer free educational games and curricula to teachers. Graphite is the name of this wonderful site, and it helps teachers discover and share educational technology. Bill Gates has this massive vision to solve the world educational crisis, and Graphite's part of his solution to empower teachers to transform the lives of young people. The idea is to provide educators with free online resources that have already been tested and reviewed and demonstrated to better teach their K-12 classroom. This information is available and it includes apps and games and lessons and links to other tested sites. This is just part of Gates' overall strategy to improve student outcomes through technology. He's actually donated hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to help little startups, help little not-for-profits like What Common Sense were, and grants to different people and various teaching programs throughout the world. Good job, Bill Gates. Check out graphite.org. It's awesome.
I remember being at school and loving that moment when the teacher said, "Okay everyone, get out your atlas." Something about discovering new places in the world was exciting. Well, times have changed and those old dusty atlases may not cut it in the 21st century classroom, but don't worry, because today's appetizer is the Barefoot World Atlas. You can have the whole world right there on your iPad. This app uses the same kind of physics as Google Earth, a spinnable sphere that students can manipulate to explore all the cool landmarks and other features of the world. You can pinch to zoom in just with your two fingers and see the details for that country or region of the world. You can search for places, landmarks, categories using the menu on the left, or just search using the built-in search tool. Each item on the atlas has a photo and other interesting facts that have an audio narration with them. So that's things like the temperature in that country, the capital cities, the population, all of those kinds of interesting facts that you might want kids to note take. You can also purchase other packs that will give you even more information, as well as puzzles and other activities. This is a fantastic app for getting started with a unit of studying geography or just a research or note-taking task. The app is a little on the pricey side though at $6.49, but with the educational discount through the volume purchasing program, that will be a lot better. You get a 50% discount through the VPP. This app will suit primary school students quite well, but one thing to watch with smaller students is the novelty of spinning the globe. It's really fun to do, but it could be distracting for those little kids. So my advice would be to get it out of the way with an early spin session. Barefoot World Atlas is a great app for discovering the world we live in, and for engagement it's awesome.
Top 5, ooh, yeah. So, people often ask me, they say, "James, how do I save some space on my iPhone or my iPad?"
James, how do I save some space on my iPhone or on my iPad?
See what I'm saying? And I tell them, here are my top 5 tips for saving space on my iPhone and my iPad. Well, firstly, you've got to go into your settings. This is the first thing I try to do. I go into settings, I go into general, and I click on usage. And what comes up are all the different apps that I've been using that are taking up space. And I can see very clearly from the start whether or not I'm using the apps that are causing the most damage on my hard drive. So number 1, you've got to just delete apps that you don't use. It's that simple. So you go, you press it, you hold it down and you press the X and it deletes. Get rid of them. If you're not using it, get rid of it, okay? You can go into your messages here and delete your message threads that you haven't been reading for a while. Yes, it's nice to have lots of them there, but you wouldn't believe how much room that those threads actually take up. Delete those, get rid of them, start again. I'd like you to go in to where your movies are stored and use your iCloud to stream the movies to your device. Don't rely on your hard drive because a movie can be up to 2 or 3 gig. Get rid of it. Get rid of it now and go to the iCloud, and that goes for your music and that you can get onto iTunes Match for a very competitive price each year, and you can get onto the iCloud for all your documents as well. Number 4, what I want you to do is to go into your internet browser, and I want you to clear it of the data and the cookies. Get onto the Safari thing on your settings and get rid of all of those cookies. As well, you can get rid of your voicemails that you're no longer listening to. They are just storing lots of stuff on your hard drive. Let's get rid of it now. What I need to do is to sync my device, back it up to the computer, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to restore my device from this backup. This is going to get rid of the other column, or at least minimize it. What you're going to find is that over time your phone stores lots of random things, or your iPad, in these different places. And so what you want to do is to restore it from that backup that you just made. Please do not restore your device without backing up, because we don't want to start all again on your iPad. Let's get the things that are actually useful to you so you can use this great device for learning. Those are my top 5.
Last week's Guru of the Week was Emily, but this week we've had a Facebook post from one of our friends, Larissa. And Larissa is a Year 3 teacher, and she's been doing some really cool things in the classroom with technology. They're trying to create a classroom platform for students to use to access the maths curriculum in a self-paced way. So that's pretty cool, I think. This week's advice from Larissa is, don't be afraid to jump in and embrace the ever-changing world of technology. Once you begin to explore, you'll find that the possibilities are endless and amazing. That is so true, Larissa, and that's why you're this week's App Guru of the Week.